Well, welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on a Sunday.
Pleasure. It's good to wake up early for once.
Yeah, I was going to say it's rare in our industry, right? Dragged you out of bed, 10 a.m.
The weather is beautiful at this time. So
it is. Yeah. Cool. So tell us, Paul, about you. Who are you? What do you do?
I'm Paul Svenson. I'm a DJ and I'm a partner with admin in one club and with my friend John called Gate2, which is located in Medan, and where we make crazy parties.
Yeah, amazing. And you've been a DJ for how many years?
I think I can say 20 years now.
20?
Yeah.
Wow. Where did you start?
I was 15, and I was like, as a passion, like with no pretension to do anything at all with it. But yeah, as the years went by, I realized that I could make a living from it. So yeah, this is how I got here.
Amazing. And you started off in France, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the scene back in France like 20 years ago?
It was much more hip-hop oriented back then. And yeah, I mean, when you start as a young DJ, obviously you go to the less trendy place, let's say. And music-wise, I could not obviously express myself. And I think I still could not express myself in south of France, because the industry is very, very money-oriented, and that's... I see it's getting much better now, but I'm still not seeing myself going back anytime soon.
Because you were Monte Carlo, was it? Or?
Yeah. Like it was like resident DJ kind of job. It was a job back then. And it's great. It's great to learn how to manage a crowd and dance floor. But yeah, thanks God I don't have to do this anymore.
So now you're in Dubai. We're in Dubai, for our listeners that don't know. What brought you here and when?
Okay, so I was a resident in Monaco, a place called Sea Lounge. And the GM of that place, a good friend of mine, got an offer to open a beach club in Dubai. And so he took me with him as an artist director, DJ. And so I came along, and that place was Cove Beach back in the day, in Jumeirah Beach Hotel. Now it moved to GBR, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that was 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was Dubai like 10 years ago?
It was less crowded. It was a bit less traffic. But still, it always been I came in 2014, so I could say that it always been a very dynamic city with a lot of things happening. So I would say it didn't change much, it just grew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you decided to come here, what made you stay here?
Quality of life, the amount of places to go out and to perform. So yeah, and I found every place I've been to playing music, I could play what I like more or less, So this is something I didn't have in France, or less than here. So.
And what music do you like?
I like what people don't know. So basically, I always love to make people discover new things. So that's one. And me personally, I always been into house music since the very beginning. So yes, I love to play deep house. I love to play minimal. I love to play house. Maybe even some techno if the moment requires it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so in Dubai, where you were allowed to just sort of play this music from the beginning, where did you start with that?
In Dubai?
Yeah.
In Dubai, it was much more vocal deep house. A little bit what is Kenny music now. Like back then, I was getting some edits and covers to match a beach vibe with a very non-educated musically clientele, to please a little bit everyone. It was still a job of resident DJ.
Yeah.
And as long as you get into the scene and people start to get to know you, they start to trust your taste, and slowly you build your sound over the years and go to what you like.
Yeah, and the way you talk about music to me is someone who you're clearly very passionate.
Yeah.
Right. So
you have to.
Yeah, but you say that, but some people do DJing for different reasons, for different motivations.
Yeah, for fame or for I don't know what other reason. for the trend, for the statue, maybe the money.
Status, yeah. So for you, what was your driver into music and being a DJ?
Sorry,
what was your driver? What's your purpose or?
The moment you share with the crowd. I think that's the, to be on the same spot, same page with everyone, and to make them discover things. And the best thing is to see them losing themselves, completely lost it, see them dancing like crazy. That's the best thing. Yeah. Hearing them scream, this is the cool stuff. Yeah, this is what we have in Gate.
Yes. Yeah. So tell us what's Gate?
So Gate2 is it's our club. Me and John, we partner up with Admine to create with Iris to create a very intimate venue with no phone, no video allowed. So when you enter in the club, we put a sticker on your phone that covers all your cameras, so it's a big sticker. And because now the phone are cameras everywhere, front, back. Of
course.
And it's not allowed to record anything. You can obviously use your phone if you need to text someone, but the idea is to disconnect you from this addiction, because we're all addicted to this phone. When you wake up, you take your phone, you check your social, you scroll, whatever. The idea was when you come to this club, this doesn't exist anymore, and so you can, instead of being on your phone, you will connect to the person next to you and connect to the music, because you will be focused on what you're listening to. And this is a massive game changer. People behave completely differently, and everybody is more friends with each other. There is never a fight. There is never a misunderstanding.
Wow.
Because everybody are on the same page. So sometimes it's very emotional to see everybody dancing the same way, in the same direction, smiling at each other. And this is something that we lost in the nightlife, I believe. So I don't find many places like this in Dubai that you can really feel like everybody is here on the same purpose with the idea of enjoying the music.
Yeah, I mean, it seems quite foreign, doesn't it? That you'd put somewhere that people like to put on social media or talk about what they've been doing on their night out, and you've made it impossible for them to share. It is possible.
At the end, many people exit the club, remove their sticker, take a picture of the front of the club, and then it's kind of a bit of a mystery for people who see that. But we do have photographer, videographer in the venue.
Yeah.
The idea is not to be private or do secret thing in the venue. No, it's not about that. It's about the people to be free. But of course, we have a videographer, photographer taking the moments.
Yeah.
And so we have content. We can communicate on Instagram with what we do there, and people can find themselves on pictures online on our Instagram accounts. But yeah, the idea is not to hide anything.
Yeah.
It's for the people, for the crowd to be free.
So what have you noticed is the biggest difference? So if you compare Gate to some other club, what's the biggest difference that you see by not having phones?
The crowd is completely different. Even if it's the same person, the same people, they will behave completely differently in a normal venue than Gate2, because at Gate2 they're different because of these rules. So and on top of that, the sound, the music is different, the experience is different. So
it's exciting. I need to come check it out.
You need
and I think other people are starting to take that concept on, aren't they? I know in London there's a venue, not in London but in the UK, there's a venue in Manchester that's opening with the same thing, the no phone policy.
It exists in Europe for many years. If you go to UK, in London, there is many places like that, like Fabric, Beat London. If you go to Berlin, it's like this since the 90s. I mean, since the smartphone started to be there, they banned it straight away. In, I think, all the clubs in Berlin are like that, or most of them.
Wow.
So it's nothing, we didn't invent anything, but we created something that didn't exist here in Dubai.
Yeah. And I think as well, it's generationally quite important, like the changes that we've had in the industry post-COVID and the rise of social media for that kind of what's it, Gen Z generation, everyone is way more addicted to their phones than they used to be.
And we know that. And our marketing is really, really turned into social media because people get to know the place, right?
Yeah.
And you're not going to see your friends posting a story dancing in the place. So the only way we could do that is to have a very cool and smart marketing. So what we do every week, before the weekend, we post a video. John and I are talking like we do right now.
Yeah.
And we explain which DJ we book, who is playing, why we book them, and what to expect from the night. But it's not an artwork. Of course, we have an artwork, but it's not like a classic artwork with the DJ name. It's a video when we explain why we book these DJs and what they're doing and where you should come. And of course, we make a couple of jokes in the middle.
Yeah, you must.
but that's the idea to make the marketing of Gate2 is it's also one of the special things that other places don't do.
So you'd say you guys are very music focused and music led in what you do, and that is why someone should come as well to experience these DJs, get to know different sound.
Yeah. Obviously, like electronic music lovers will definitely love the place for sure.
So good. So this podcast is called Provocateurs. How would you say in your career or your life and what you do that you are provocative?
I'm not sure I'm provocative, but I think when you innovate and be honest with what you love, and like for instance, with music, if you're honest with your music, you cannot go wrong. And maybe to some people it's provocative, you know, that, okay, this guy is doing something different. But the aim has never been to be provocative, is just to do what you love.
Yeah. And as a byproduct, if people find that disruptive, then...
I think so.
I mean, I would say from my perspective, I think what you guys are driving forward is provocative, it's disruptive in a market and in an industry where
it is.
You know, it's
in a good way.
In a good way, it's good to you know, shake things up a bit. And I think what you were saying about France, and this goes for so many markets in our industry, that, you know, if money is the driver and money is the only goal, what does that produce as an experience?
I will not say France the whole country, because in Paris you have amazing places, in Lyon you have amazing places, in some other city, in Nantes you have one of the biggest clubs in Europe. There is many good parties, good festivals. It's just the economy there in France changed a lot, and so as a club, if you want to survive, you need to be very mainstream, sadly. Festivals are doing well
in France.
In France, yes.
Same as the UK.
Same as the UK. Yeah, everything is very similar in Europe. And festivals are great, but even a festival is difficult because you need to invest a lot of money in advance. And most of the time it takes years for a festival to make profit.
I think a lot of people I've had a lot of conversations in the UK about that, and a lot of consumers think that festivals make so much money, but the supply chains...
Not at first.
I
don't think... I mean, I didn't make a festival myself, but from what I heard from the industry, most of the time it takes 2, 3, 4 years before making profits.
Yeah.
And of course, after that, you make money, yes, but, you know, it's like everything. When it's rushed and make fast, it rarely works, you know.
Yeah, 100%. And also, I think a lot of this, for the UK, we've had a lot of the supply chains be impacted post-Brexit. So that's put a lot of the cost of everything up. Which has meant that a festival that was profiting maybe, you know, a few years ago, now when they run the numbers, completely different story.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of attrition of festivals over the last kind of year because of that as well. But it creates new space for people that want to reinvest and create and innovate, like you said. So, yeah, it sounds like France and UK
We're on the same
thing.
page, kind of.
Yeah.
Not only, like, I think Europe in general is... It's not the best era of going out. You know, like now, as I said, everybody's on their phone. The new generation is maybe, you know, they don't drink as much. They don't connect with each other as much. They're more, maybe, you know, I'm just suggesting, like, they're more into video games, online. Maybe into positive stuff like sport, maybe more, but like I feel like the club culture is not as strong as it used to be in the 90s, 2000.
Yeah. Do you think that will change?
Hmm?
Do you think it will change?
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it will, because in life it's always a circle.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of young people that come to Gate2, like the new generation, and they love the no fun policy because they never been to a party without fun. For our generation, we went to parties, the smartphone didn't exist, so for us it was just normal to connect, when we were young.
Yeah.
But for the new generation, they are born with a phone in their hand, and so they discover something that, well, this is new. It's not new. It's old, actually.
Yeah.
But for them, it's new, and so that's why I believe it will. If it's made this way, with no phone and no videos, and educate a bit the crowd to enjoy the music, yes, the new generation will love it. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think this new generation as well seems to want something different, so like an experience. Something we noticed in the UK was a lot of the venues that weren't innovating, weren't offering anything new, weren't recreating, they're gone. But the ones that are coming, okay, let's create something different to talk about that's in here, a new experience in that venue, or the festivals that are doing the same, they are thriving.
Exactly.
So it's a change in the market, I think. I don't know what France was like back in the day, but I know for me when we were young, we'd go out 5 nights a week. You wouldn't even think about it. Like now that's not happening, but they're still going out, just in a different way. And they want more when they go out,
Yeah. I know it's they want a show, they want big videos, massive screen, lasers. Okay, that's cool. That's one thing. We do something else.
Yeah.
But I have nothing against that. Like when you see kind of music, Afterlife, all the big event when Black Coffee is coming to Dubai, I don't see much people dancing.
No.
But it doesn't mean they don't enjoy the moment. They just do something different, like they are on their phone, they film what they are seeing. Me, if I go to this event, I will maybe enjoy it, but I will definitely not film it. I want to live it. But, I'm not judging. Like if they had a good time and they come back home with plenty of memories in their phone and they're happy with it, it's good for them, Just propose something different.
Yeah. And so with Dubai, what's the market like in Dubai, and how has it grown over the last 10 years?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Like maybe 3-4 years ago, like before COVID, basically, the music trend was R&B, hip hop, and the electronic music was much smaller. But I guess everywhere in the world. And now it's the opposite. Like there is very few R&B pop parties, like less than electronic music, because it became extra popular. Kenny music is a very good example of that. You can find many cover remix of famous song made into Afro house vibe, and so now it's the new pop music. At the moment. But it will change because it's always
changing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more larger events, isn't there? So Ushuaia opening, and like you said, Black Coffee.
Yeah,
and
they do
was that
amazing
the same?
shows. Yeah.
Like 5 years ago, was that happening? Or?
No, it was existing, but in a much smaller scale. And it was not about the show, like massive screen, fireworks. It was smaller, basically.
Yeah.
It grew as the city is growing, like Dubai is exploding, like the traffic is much more than before, like everything is more busy.
Yeah.
So it's normal that you can have on the same night a massive 15,000 people in Expo and at the same time Ushuaia doing their thing. It's crazy.
Yeah. And so with Gate.
And still Gate is busy and still other places are busy, so it's like, of course, you can feel it when the two massive venues drag like 50,000 people.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we feel it is less busy than usual, but it's still happening. And this 5 years ago, you could not even make 10,000 people in
One place.
In one place, yeah.
So where do you see it going?
I would like to know where it's going, but I think it will just keep on growing until we reach a point that that we have the whole planet in Dubai. I mean, who knows?
It feels that way, doesn't it?
Honestly, everybody's moving here. So
I read an article from a UK perspective, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, just about how many people are leaving and coming to Dubai, and it's still happening, you know, particularly like wealthy multimillionaires or millionaires are leaving and coming here, and that's not slowed down. Yeah.
It's good for Dubai.
Yeah.
It's less good for the UK or for France, but again, it's maybe a cycle, and maybe people will travel differently as well. You know, I see many people investing here, having a residency here, but not being here all year long.
Yes.
You know? So I think it's good for the aviation industry, actually.
Good for many industries. Yeah. But I would say in our industry, like, I question the high levels of competition. Like, is that going to become destructive at some point? Where
No.
You don't think so?
I think in any case, in sport, in any field, competition is great.
Yeah.
Because you push forward your limits, and you get only better, rather than just getting stuck into what you know what to do and
getting comfortable.
Yeah. So as long as it's a sane competition, I'm in for that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. And so for you, you've DJ'd in crowds of like 10,000, 15,000, I'm guessing, if you've done stuff with Black Coffee or... And then now with Gate, you've got this intimate 150 people capacity venue. What's it like as a DJ performing to those different crowds?
Completely different. When you play on a massive stage, the first row of people will be like, I don't know, maybe 15 meters from you. So you see a massive amount of people. You see them arm in the air. You see when they are dancing, not dancing. But that's pretty much it. Like, you don't see the face of the people, plus with the lighting and everything. So, sorry. So it's less emotional for me. But I guess some other DJ will say the complete opposite. Huh? But for me, being on a massive stage like that and not being able to see if people are smiling, if people are crying or like whatever, you know, I don't see it because I'm just too far. In Gate2, which is what I love about small places, is like you will be like this distance, like 1 meter from me. And I can see everything.
Yeah.
And we can look at each other, and there is some eye contact, connection about the music, obviously. Like, yes, we are on the same page, you know. And this, I cannot get it on a big stage, obviously. So that's the big difference. On a DJ perspective, you will play completely different stuff than you will play on the main stage, for sure.
I think we see a lot of DJs, don't we, who are quite like well known. They'll talk about actually preferring to do really intimate things as well.
It's very funny because the big international DJs, when they come to Gate2, either to visit, sometimes they play somewhere else, like we had DJ Tennis or Floyd Lavin, or like many DJs that play somewhere else in town, and when they finish their gig, they come to Gate2 to enjoy a little bit the place. And obviously this kind of DJs are really happy to play in this kind of small, intimate, with a massive sound system and a very good crowd that they unfortunately don't get in other venue. So yeah.
Yeah, and I guess our industry as well, it can cater for both types, you know, like the DJ that wants to be a performer and like be on those big stages,
there
and
is
then the one that wants to really connect.
And the DJ, and it's hard to be in between.
Yeah, that's so good. So with Gate2, what were some of the challenges that you had in? So
far we didn't almost everything we planned became a reality, to be honest.
Wow.
Like in terms of building the venue, designing, the club, because we basically we got 4 walls, and you guys design everything, make the place as you feel. So of course we work with architects from the company, and they did they really understood what we wanted. They made the first rendering. We were like, yes, perfect. That's exactly what we had in mind. And then when you see the rendering and the actual club, it's very close to what we imagined.
Wow.
So, and then from the opening, it was a success. And so far, within 1 year, maybe we had 2-3 nights that were not busy.
Wow.
In 1 year. It's always working.
Wow.
Sometimes it comes later. Sometimes at 12:30 it's packed and it's amazing. Sometimes it comes later at 1:30. But no, there is no much challenges. Obviously there is, but normal challenges.
Yeah.
So.
And what was the process like for you in terms of how did it come about partnering with? Because you partnered with AdMind. Yeah.
So I've been a DJ for them, for AdMind for maybe 7 years now. A resident of Iris. And after COVID, I became music director for Iris. And I'm still, technically. And so I hired DJs to play for Iris, and John was one of them. And at some point we got the offer from AdMind to make our own venue.
Amazing.
So this is how it naturally.
Just connections, doing what you love.
Yeah, being there for a while. They know what we can do, and they trust us. And this is how it happened.
And there's a lot to be said about that, isn't there? The foundations of building relationships by doing what you love, showing.
It's very important in any business, in art, in any field. Again, trust is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, where do you see yourself and Gate in 5 years' time?
Well, we're trying to develop Gate through showcase around the world. That's something we would like to do, to be present in some festival. We don't want to do another Gate2. Mm-hmm. We don't want to have Gate2 in many countries. We want Gate2 to be this place, like a church. You go in Dubai, you're a music lover, you go to Gate2. But yes, making some event outside the country, that will be great. And if Gate2 in 5 years is still there, but I will be very happy, because it's not easy. There is always something new in Dubai. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure within the next 5 years it will be some venue very similar to Gate, and that means we're doing great if it's happened. So
amazing.
Yeah.
And so for yourself, what are your aspirations?
Where
do you see yourself?
In Thailand.
Love it.
Actually, I'm going tonight.
I've heard it's all about Bali now.
Yeah, I've been to Bali and Thailand. I prefer Thailand.
Nice.
It's less crowded.
Yes.
No, I don't know where I will be. I believe I will be in the same place.
Yeah.
Because I'm happy where I am now.
Yeah. And so if there's people listening who are maybe young, aspiring people wanting to break into the industry and learn a bit from how you did it, what advice could you give to someone?
Everybody will have a different path to get where you want to be. Of course, never give up, but don't force it. We have so many young DJs that really push too much, text, call, come, ask, and I don't think it's the right way. There is levels in the industry, and just prove yourself first. Get noticed, yes, and never give up, but don't force. Everything that comes naturally is so much better. Or yes, of course, it will take more time. It will take you years, but then you will be legit, and you will be true to yourself, and you will be picked instead of forcing. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way I see it, and that's the way I always been working, and that's what we do with John as well. We never forced or never ask I think I never asked in my life a gig, like, can I play there? Never.
So the next one just came to the next one.
Exactly.
Just came.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I suppose that way you're focusing on your craft and your DJing being excellent and letting that speak for itself.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. That's really good advice. Let it come to you. I like that.
I mean, it's my way of seeing things. I'm not saying that I'm right.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point you need to force a little bit. Nothing is black, nothing is white, you know.
No.
But the idea of it is that, yeah, don't force it because you're just gonna get the guy tired of you.
Yeah.
He didn't have the chance to listen to you. And you know, sometimes we book new talent at Gate. We didn't even listen to them in reality, you know. But we receive a mixtape, we like it. Okay, it doesn't mean we're gonna take this DJ like in the next day, but okay, we have a list, you know, of DJ we would like to take at Gate2. Just wait for your turn.
Yeah.
We will get picked.
I was reading an article actually on the plane here about dance music and female talent, and that there's actually a lot more female talent globally now tracking dance, like the charts and things like that, and how social media have been really positive for that. Do you find that there's more female DJs coming through now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe more than before. But it's the same with a male DJ. It depends the intention you have of being a DJ. So like if it's for the fame and the videos and because you don't know what else to do in your life, well, for sure you're not going to be playing in Gate2. But you know, we have Hartley, Ken Zakayati, Julie's. I'm sorry if I forget some, but they play at Gate2 because they are true to their craft, and the intention is music. So that's the most important.
So how do you discern that in a DJ? How do you work out that that's their driver?
How I see if a person is into music or just doing it for the fame. It's very easy. It takes 5 seconds. You open Instagram, you says it all. What content they are posting. If it's only selfies, or like the DJ desk, they are playing with the headphones and making not very attractive to me. Sharing music, sharing art, that's already catching my eye. And the same for John. Like we will be much more interested by that. That's someone that has artist things to show rather than a nice dress and a nice selfie or a nice like, I don't know, I feel it like very synthetic. To be just showing your playing is not enough. Show art, it's better.
Show art, I love that. And so like 50, when you said you started when you were 15.
Yeah.
How did it come about for you? Because that's a really young age, right?
Yeah, my neighbor friend, his father was selling equipment, basically, at a store of equipment of DJs, so turntables and stuff like that. So I naturally ended up myself a lot at my neighbor, and he was showing me how to play on vinyl, and I got addicted very fast. So yeah, not long after, I bought his equipment because he was renewing, and I start like that. Yeah.
Wow.
And then you get hooked, and you improve your little DJ booth at home, and you experiment, and you do a lot of mistakes, and you play a lot of shit music. I'm sorry for the
swear if you want to swear.
But yeah.
And
but
so you taught yourself.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my neighbors were not very happy because it was loud all day. But yeah, no, it was great the period to learn, basically.
Yeah.
And back then was no YouTube tutorial.
No.
It was nothing like that.
And so how do most of the DJs that come to you now, how have they learned? Is there like a common way?
There is many. There is DJ schools. There is YouTube tutorial.
Yeah.
You can read about it. I mean, there is plenty of way to learn. So, and there is no bad way to learn. You can just be at a DJ school, and as long as you do it again with the good attention.
Is there any
Go
good
for it.
ones that you really recommend in Dubai? Any good places?
I don't know places.
No.
I mean, I didn't take the time. I'm sure it is some places to learn. We did as well for a couple of people at Gate2 during the day. People we know. Obviously, we're not gonna make a business out of it. We're not a music school, but yes, we did for a couple of people a private lesson. But it takes a lot of time. You know, like we can explain the basic, but it's a lot of practice. And in the end, the technique is not the most important. The most important is how to read the crowd and give to them the music they don't know they wanted to hear. Yeah.
So how do you keep current with what music you want to play?
What do you mean?
Like you said, the crowd that the music don't know, that they don't know that they want to hear. How do you keep ahead of the game in that, in what you want to bring forward?
Dig for new music all the time. Like almost every day, looking for new stuff. And discovering artists, listening. And yeah, that's it. And you know, like the DJ back in the days, it's even more difficult now because, okay, there is more venues, but there is also a lot more DJs. But most of all, there is a lot more music. There is so many releases every day. You cannot listen to all of them. Back in the day, I think it was easier because you were going to the music store, listening to the record. That was already picked by the record owner, the record shop owner. So you had less choice, and from all this, you could pick what you like. Now it's just an ocean of track every day. So what I do is like I follow the labels that I trust. So it's already a bit filtered, but I don't have time anymore to listen to all the releases. It's just too many. So again, if you're honest with your music and your taste and you know what you like, it takes time to know which label to follow, obviously, but that's the only way. Otherwise, you will just
keep
play
playing
the
the
top
same
10.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. So that's how someone can stay almost true to the music and
and dig,
interests.
be curious.
Yeah.
Try. You know, I don't know this artist. I don't know this label. Let's listen to it.
Experimentation. Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time.
And so what's your favorite? Have you got a favorite festival or event that you've ever been to?
I haven't been to many festivals. So there is different, same as clubs, you know, there is different festival. There is many that I would like to do, like Deckmantel, or maybe the new Sunwaves that they will do in Spain. Music-wise is something I like a lot. But the favorite I've been to will be Unum Festival. It's in Albania. It's a very niche festival.
Albania.
It's 3 stages, and one of the stage called the Pine Stage, very underground, minimal lighting, minimal music, 6 days in a row non-stop. The music never stops. And it's beautiful. You are on the beach, but under the pine trees, so it smells like pine. That's why they call it the Pine Stage. And yeah, it's been 2 years in a row we are going to just to disconnect and to really like dig new music and have fun, obviously.
And I've had good things. I've had Albania's really coming up in the
I think so.
industry.
I think it's one of the countries, Romania, Albania, that have a future, because people there, they're still going out, and they are less connected on their phone. I feel like, for example, this festival, any stage, the beach stage, the main stage, the Pine Stage, nobody is on their phone. There is no phone policy. There is no sticker. There is no awareness about it. But the people don't need this because they will naturally don't use it.
I was at a place in, I think it was Portugal maybe, and it was, you know, like the Burning Man, the guys from Burning Man, the festival. They'd set up a small kind of thing down there.
There's plenty of things happening in Portugal.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was the same kind of thing. So we all had like yurts like on the beach, and it was all along the beachfront, and it was the whole experience, you know, we all ate together, natural food, the
But
music was
the
there all the
nature has a big
time.
role to play on a
Massive.
festival.
Yeah.
I mean, the surrounding, it could be, you could make an amazing festival on a parking lot, or you could make an amazing festival in the forest, on the beach, in the mountain. It could be many things, you know, like
Yeah.
a Caprice Festival, for example. I've been there as well. Beautiful festival in the mountain. To go to another stage, you take a telepheric. This is how we call it, right? Like it's really cool. So yeah, there is plenty of way of doing it. Snoopy Beat here in UAE, amazing. Honestly.
Where's that?
Fujairah.
Nice.
I played. It was about 1st or 2nd of November this year. It was amazing production, and you really disconnect. You're on the beach. I went to swim there. Amazing. You could see amazing fish. Like, it's really nice. And I think it's something we miss in Dubai. It's only an hour drive, so I really recommend this one. Yeah, Snoopy Beats, super cool. I loved it.
And how many people were there?
I think it was 3 days. Over the whole weekend, I don't know. It will be better to ask the guys. But I was playing on the main stage before Aresh. Just like that, I would say maybe 800, 1,000
Oh,
people.
lovely.
It's not like a big stage, you know. It's it's bigger than Intimate, but it's somewhere in between, yeah. And I could see every people were here for the music. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I saw something that I noticed. It was quite mature crowd. I didn't see much young people. I was quite surprised by that.
Why do you think that is? The music genre, or
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe you know, taking a hotel.
Yeah.
On the other side of the country, maybe the young generation, maybe not everybody can afford that. You know, paying the ticket. I don't know. Or maybe it's just the target.
Market, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I always, like, even you explaining this whole thing, I'm like, gosh, what an experience. Like, what, it's those things that just change you, right? Something in you, like, you live for that, don't you?
Yeah.
You know? And I love that our industry is facilitating that even here. You know?
No, it's true.
It's so good. Amazing. Well, is there anything that you want to share to our listeners about what you've got coming up, or things in the future?
Coming up, yes, we are working with John on making a DJ duo, basically. So, like, to take it. We are already playing a lot together in Gate2, but yeah, we are working on building up on that, make music together. And as for Gates, we're really looking forward to unveil the amazing DJs that are coming this season.
Nice.
So we will do it step by step. Some DJs you might know, some DJs you might not. But for example, on the 31st of January, we're bringing Anite. Anite, she's a very new talent in Albania. We met her in Unum Festival. And John was much closer to her. And one day John sent me his mix. And I was like, wow. I got a big slap on my face. I was like, wow, she's great. Let's do it. Let's do it. So we're happy to have her. That's gonna be amazing. I'm sure of that. So.
And what makes her music particularly great? What wowed you?
I didn't know any track. I wanted to Shazam all of them. And obviously in this kind of music, Shazam is not working.
No.
So yeah, she made me dig and look for new stuff. And so
yeah,
I really liked her set. So
wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well,
and it happens sometimes. You just go around on SoundCloud, listen to new artists, and find artists that have a big personality with the music, and that's what we look for.
I guess, as you said, that's someone who's really researched, spent time.
I was like, okay, this
stuff.
is. She has her own touch. I like it. Yeah.
And that's 31st of January.
Yes, 31st of January at Gate2. Yeah.
Nice.
On a Friday night. I hope I hope the date is right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I think you said you post every week, don't you? So
Yes. There's going to be a video explaining all of that. Exactly.
Yeah, that's very cool that you do that. Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks to you. It was a
appreciate your
pleasure.
time. And we look forward to connecting more.
With pleasure.